Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Live we're at 5. This guest, I came upon by doing research for someone else that I was going to have on, but she just kept coming up in the research. And when I interviewed Frank Roth, shout out Frank Roth, can you show Frank the prop that we bought him? There you go, brother.
Shout out to Frank Roth.
She's gonna deliver. She's gonna deliver this to you in your next meeting.
It's coming. It's coming. You have no choice, Frank.
That's right. So introduce yourself so people can know who we're dealing with today.
Awesome. My name is Abigail Taveras. My friends call me Abby. I don't like you.
Yep.
I'm a talent manager, creative expert, behind the scenes, professional imaginer. That was on my bio for a long time. But mainly, I would say talent manager, and most recently, startup founder.
There you go. Because someone has to steer the ship while people like me, DJs, actors, whoever, our minds are trying to think of things to do. And we need people like you to, hey, come here, breathe, let's figure it out.
Right.
Or I did this for you already, you don't have to work. So I don't have a manager. I'm not that big yet. But, hey, we could talk about it. I don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
We met for a reason.
Interviews are about networking. It's about putting you out there.
Yeah.
100%. Some people know that you're already, next to Frank, and you have other clients. He's not the only one.
Yes, I do. I've worked with artists. I've worked with DJs. I've worked with regular businesses. My mom in particular, shout out to Radiant Wellness in Virginia. It was one of the first businesses that I started working with. So if you're ever in Virginia, please stop by and get a massage. But yeah, no, I've worked a lot with more in entertainment in the most recent years, but I really started off with regular brands. I started my own company called Iconic years ago. It was 10 plus years. And I was doing white label products with like CBD, that whole era around COVID time, which was fun for a while because I got to really flex my creativity to a different level. I worked in corporate America for a long time. I used to do sales. And that got boring really, really fast. I climbed the corporate ladder, did that whole thing. And I was just like, it's not for me. I felt like I wasn't really challenged, and I wasn't able to express myself creatively. And I feel like I've always, had that since I was little. So kind of blended into that. And then Frank and I were friends. I went to one of his parties one time and I was like, I don't know who or where you came from, sir, but you're an entertainer and I want to go to your parties. And we kind of started off like that. I would see him at parties and stuff like that. He asked me about what I did. And over the years, he kind of saw me grow in my own lane. And when COVID happened, he was like, hey, let's link up. We went to, I think it was El Malecón in Dykeman. We went to amazing restaurant, by the way.
I love that place.
It's so good.
They charged me $100 to get in one day.
For real?
Sons of bitches.
That's crazy. I only go for the rotisserie chicken.
Well, it was Bobby Trent's birthday, so there was a reason.
That makes sense. Shout out to Bobby Trent.
Yes.
But yeah, so we met up and he was like, look, I've been doing this DJing thing for a long time and I want to take it to the next level. I know, you're in branding, you're in marketing. Like, if you want to work together, I can, we can create a team. We can do something of this. So I was like, all right, challenge accepted. I've never worked with a DJ or anyone in entertainment. This was like 5-6 years ago already.
Nice.
And he gave me an opportunity that truly changed my life because I was then all of a sudden in a position where I can, give somebody ideas and, play them out, see them come to life. And that just, it kind of just grew from there. And I've been able to work with some of your favorite local artists and DJs. I've mainly stayed with Frank because, again, this is the person that gave me my opportunity to be in an industry that
home base.
Yeah, 100%. So even when I stop management completely, that's always gonna be my team.
No, well, he definitely, told me because I was like, yo, we gotta give Abby a shout out. He didn't see that one coming.
He didn't. He was
And shout out to Brittany as well because
yes,
I know
yes.
Brittany's home team as well with Elliot.
Shout out to Brittany.
So let's start from the beginning. Born and raised.
So I was born in New York City. I was born in St. St. Luke's Hospital in Manhattan. I grew up in the Bronx, East Tremont. But when I was little, my mom decided she wanted to give us more of a suburban life. So my dad stayed in the Bronx and my mom moved us to a small town, the smallest town she could possibly find, called Rapidan, Virginia.
Damn.
Exactly. Which is kind of a culture shock because they didn't have any Latinos there at all.
And you were ready.
I was like 9 years old at
Nine,
that time.
yes.
So, a few kids from the Bronx. It was four of us at that time, my three sisters and my little brother. And they moved us, but we kept going back and forth.
Of course.
My dad was not having it. Dominican dad, come bring my kids. I better see my kids once a month. So we always came back home. But I grew up between Virginia and New York City. Two completely different extremes because my mother was very religious. And my father was like what they would call worldly. Christians call worldly. So it was very interesting, I my love for music though grew in Virginia because we weren't allowed to listen to like worldly music.
The
It
religious
was
was serious.
it was serious. It was very serious.
And what religion was it?
Seventh-day Adventist.
All right.
But it was an extremist, and a lot of people don't know this about me, but it was kind of a cult that I grew up in. I didn't wear jeans until I was like 16, which is why I dress very much the way I dress now. Because
I'm going to express myself.
I'm going to express myself.
For those first 15 years, I lost. You're going to see this belly, goddammit.
Bro, what? All the time. Any chance I get. If you know me, you know. But it was interesting, though, because I remember like we weren't allowed to. Shout out to my parents though. They're not in that religion anymore. They realized it was a little So shout out to them. Love them to death. But it was very interesting because like I said, my love for music started there. We had like this little radio we would listen to. When my parents would leave, we would sneak it out and like go through stations. One of us would be watching out the window. The other one would be scanning.
This is so messed up, but it's good. It's good. It's your story.
It is. No, and I always had a passion like for entertainment since I was a little girl. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I always said somehow I'm gonna land in it. And I did, which is why I say that to say you can do anything you set your mind to. Like if something is implanted in you, even at a young age, as an adult, if that's still within you, go for it. Fucking go for it.
And that's why we didn't like have that motivation before. Like I didn't. Now the like you just said, fuck it, go for it. Why in our 20s? We didn't maybe I'm off, but we didn't have that motivation.
Yeah.
It was like you had to have like a real OG mom and dad to like put you in position, and that's a blessing,
Right.
But in some cases, like I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, a woman like you, when did you guys come around? Like single mom, badass, balling woman that ain't fucking with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe from Sex and the City days, maybe.
You know what? I don't know. Like again, my upbringing was so different. Having kids at a young age really just put a fire in me. Like I credit my kids because having them and wanting to give them a better future. I was 16.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're going to learn today.
Yeah.
You're going to learn about this adult business fast.
Real quick. I had to grow up fast and I wanted to give my kids the world, I learned early on that I was on my own and I had to be okay with that. I navigated the systems. I looked for help. I tried to.
And that's what they're there for.
Yeah. But, it was very, very hard. And it took me really not having a damn thing to really ignite that fire within me and be like, all right, girl, it's up to you or you don't have shit. Because I don't have the luxury of inheritance. My parents, my stepdad was a pastor. My dad was in New York living his best life, no kids. So I didn't really have that guidance of like, hey, Abby, you should do this, hence being pregnant at 16. I really didn't have that guidance. I kind of had to figure it out on my own. But I feel like when you are dealt those type of cards, it can go one of either way, you know. You take responsibility or you don't. That's pretty much it.
And that's why there's a lot of services. There's
Yeah.
adoption agencies. You can't give the kid, you can't do nothing crazy. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Stay away from them crazy ideas.
Yeah,
You
no.
either raise that kid or you, whatever you want to do. But we suggest raising your kid. And you know
Raise
what?
them and love them and love
Yeah.
them. Like, I've always, like, parenting isn't hard, right? I mean, excuse me, it's not easy. But even from the advice my parents would give me or other adults, like, I've heard it all. Like, oh, well, it's hard, it's this, it's this. It's not. All I've come to the conclusion, and my kids are about to be 15 and 14. You just gotta love them, man. You just gotta love them. You gotta love them with all your heart, because when you love them with all your heart and you respect them, you want the best for them and you do the best for them.
I cannot imagine. And we're not gonna shit on baby daddy, but what happened to baby daddy?
I mean, early on, I knew I wasn't, we were both very young. And I've never spoken about it openly, but it wasn't a healthy relationship. And I would like to speak about it openly, you know, because my story can only empower others. But I was in a very unhealthy relationship, and I realized early on, like, either I'm going to stick with this person and live this certain type of lifestyle, or I'm going to take my kids away from this and build a better life.
Amen.
And it was a hard decision, but I stuck with it, and we didn't look back, and I would not have it any other way. I've got two great kids, and it's been hard, but it's been great. I wouldn't have it any other way.
So he's not, to this day, nothing?
No, I mean, they see him once a year. They
okay.
speak with him. You know, I think that some kind of relationship is better than none.
Yes.
And I want my kids to have that clarity one day, that mom did everything she had to do in her power to make sure that she had a relationship. I'm not about that baby daddy drama. That shit only hurts your kids.
Yeah, no.
It only hurts your kids. So if we could be at peace, whether we have or agree with the more, let's just put it all aside for the kids. So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
My son is 13. Graduated just like yours. I just met her son. And we are not together, but me and mom are constant battle. It's like it's us versus you, brother. And we're not together, but we are on him. You know what I'm saying? The other day, he thought it was a good idea to tap and take a city bike and ride to my house from his school. So when he gets to my house, I'm like, where are you going to put that bike?
Right.
Because he don't know. You got to put it back in the port.
Right.
The station. He's like, what do you mean? So I go to my app and I'm like, bro, there's none around here. You have to take it back. Mom came, no, you're going to take it back because he's not. And I'm like, you little mother. So we are always teaming up on it. Like,
That's
bro,
good.
so the bill came out to $53
Damn.
back and forth.
It's like that's an Uber.
But like, bro, you just made me. You just cost me $53. But I laugh because it could be worse. You know what I'm saying? I put my mom through freaking hell. Cops bringing me home with BB guns and, you know, breaking neighbors' windows and doing dumb shit. So anything that he gets in trouble, I judge it with me. I'm like, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
City bike, that's not that bad. We
No,
cool.
right.
$50, I can't do that.
You know, right. I like that. No, that's awesome.
You know,
it definitely takes a village, though, for sure. And I have to give a big shout out to, like, my sister Ellie. She has been, I mean, a huge support, because I can't say I did it just on my own. You know, I have my sister. I have friends too. We do. It takes a village. It literally takes a village. You know, and we're one. Donde en un sitio falta algo, vienen abundancia en otros lados. Like,
oh, by the way, DR heavy.
Yeah, super duper. Santiago.
You heard that, right? You hear the accent.
Nah, for sure.
Shout out to my girl. She's Dominican.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out to my parents. That for sure.
My girl's Dominican.
Oh, nice. Sorry.
She was like, yes. No, but my girl's Dominican. I love Dominicans there. Me and Frank have that thing. He loves Puerto Ricans. I love Dominicans.
Yes, he does.
He's not with it.
That's my boy.
And we discussed it. I just feel that Dominican women take care of you better. Yeah. Sorry, Puerto Rican girls. But so let's go back to the 9 to 5 life. That
Yes.
so what was you tapped on it a little bit, but let's. Why did you say, you know what, this guarantee, because it's a guaranteed check every Friday, every 2 weeks, every week, whatever, guaranteed check. So explain what a person like you, man, woman, whoever, that's gonna believe in something and say, you know what, I don't know when that next check is coming, but I'm gonna have the faith to create whatever I'm creating. This could be anything. What type of balls, no pun intended,
No, it's right.
tits, whatever.
Right.
What does that take to, like, we're kids, by the way.
Yeah.
How to give someone that is right there?
So, I started off with ADT. I was knocking doors, selling security systems. And so I guess what was peculiar in my situation was that I started off working 100% commission. So the only way I made money is if I sold something.
No, so that's a drive.
So, right. And mind you, this was like 10 years ago in Virginia. And I was like, hey, listen, whatever. I didn't have a college education. My options were very, very limited. But I did it, and I was decent at it. I could sell. I realized that I could sell. So I was like, all right, if I could sell, then let's see if I can, move up the ladder. And I did. And then one thing led to another. One day someone came into the office. I got promoted all the way to office trainer. So I was building my own sales teams and I was training my own sales teams, cashing in that weekly check, just like you said. And then somebody came in one day and was like, something happened in corporate. We're shutting down the office. Mind you, I had relocated to Maryland at that time from Virginia.
No warning.
No warning. And basically my 2 weeks notice. And I was devastated. I was completely devastated because I had worked my ass off to get from basically almost a non-paying position all the way to management, just to have it all taken away from me. And I feel like that was a big awakening for me. If I can put faith in somebody else as much as I did in that company, why would I not bet on myself? And that's when I started just taking courses online, marketing, doing little designs here and there. And I was always a salesperson. And my mom was working for Massage Envy at that time. And I'm like, Mommy, forget Massage Envy. She was my guinea pig, I guess. I'm like, Mommy, forget Massage Envy. You can shit on Massage Envy. You work so hard, and she did. And she was the best massage therapist there. And I was like, you can do your own thing. Let's do your own thing. Let's start this. You and Dad, because my dad was massaging at that time. Let's start you guys a spa.
They were doing it for a big company.
Yeah, they were working for a bigger company.
So I'm just trying to keep the people on track. You're trying to grab her out of it to create the team now.
Yes.
There you go. I like this. Yeah.
So I'm like, guys, let's do it. You guys can do your own business. Like, you're making Massage Envy was charging like $80 for the hour. My mom was making $17. Some people tip, some people don't. That just seemed completely unfair to me. 100%. And I would talk to my mom and she would be so upset. Like, ay, mi hija, estoy trabajando tan duro que estoy cansada cada rato. And I'm like, Mami, si tú vas a estar cansada, por lo menos ten cuarto en el banco. That's mathematics. So if you're going to be working your ass off, you might as well have money in the bank. Like, you could be tired, but have some money with it. Don't be tired and struggling. That makes no sense.
Yep.
Long story short, my stepdad, shout out to my stepdad, he was always the more adventurous one. He was like, Saida, let's do it. Let's do it. So they did, and we started playing with logos. We started playing with names. Came up with Radiant Wellness, which is still the name till this day.
Hell yeah.
And Radiant Wellness, not only 10 years later, not only do my parents still have their business, they have better ratings than Massage Envy, which is in the same town at the same Massage Envy that they worked at one point.
Amen.
So,
no, it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. So off of that, I was like, okay, I can do this. I built her like a system of process. Because, if you hit the books, if you do not have the chance to go to college, read a book. It's what helped me. It's what's still helping me. I would love the luxury to go to school. I think that if you have the opportunity to educate yourself, by all means, do it.
Yep.
I didn't have that luxury. I had to educate myself. So I started picking up books. I started taking courses because I saw me leaning into that lane and I liked it. So that's when I started experimenting, met some people, AV Designs, shout out to AV Designs. He's a graphic designer. That's when I kind of got into the whole white labeling, CBD products, came up with Iconic, started doing my own designs, helping other people start their own lines, whether it was tinctures, balms for like pain, edibles, coffee. I mean, I
Whatever.
still have the catalog if you want to see it, but
That's dope.
basically anything. And then kind of just it just rippled from there, and like I said, ended up in entertainment. But it was really the fact that I believed in somebody so much and they let me down. I figured if I can believe in myself that much and not let myself down, how can I fail?
So nowadays, and not to get into your pockets,
No, it's fine.
you don't get paid every Friday.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. It might be a Friday, it might be a Monday, might be twice a week, might be once a week. It varies depending on when the invoices go out.
But that's the job.
That's the job. It's the job. But I'll say this though. I always thought that being my own boss was gonna be chill. Like, I work at my own pace. It's a setup. 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. When you own your own business, you gotta pick up that phone anytime it rings. I mean,
Anytime.
even when you got here today, I had to excuse myself because it never stops. It's always going. So is it for everybody? Perhaps not. You know, I know people that work 9 to 5s and are absolutely happy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it is definitely high paced, and it is a lot.
Well,
But
it's based on do you love your job? Like I'm changing jobs now, and it's giving me anxiety because I really loved what I did. All I did was charter people, charter people from their building like this to the train.
nice.
And if you know the city, from the West Side Highway to Columbus Circle is a mission to walk. So all those Trump Tower buildings, all that on the West Side Highway, most of them have shuttles. And I'm a people person, so it was dope. So I loved my job, and
Nice.
there would be people coming to work, and they'll be like, "Oh, this place," and I would ask them like, "Yo, like, why don't you just?"
Yeah.
I'm at that point that if I hear someone say that, you could be my friend or a stranger. I'm gonna try to be like, "Yo, why don't you get out of it, do something else?" And they're gonna say, "Yeah, but I got a family, I got kids," and they're not gonna trust the process
No.
because it's scary.
It is. It is scary. And as much when you work long enough and you have enough clients, you know, you start seeing money and stuff like that. But like with great success also comes great responsibility. I feel
Yep.
like that's it's a big part of it. You want to grow, you want all these things, but you have to be able to maintain it, which is not always as easy. So as much as you have highs, you're gonna have lows, but it's all about consistency, And I feel like it's unfortunate because most of America does hate. They hate it, and it is a huge leap. And I feel like a lot of people, they recognize that. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, listen, quit your job, go for it all, fuck everything. Like, sure, to a certain extent, but you have to be strategic.
Yeah, because with your two kids, right? When you did this, they were much younger. When you made that, well, you were fired, and then you had to figure it out.
Yeah.
So that drive is different than everything is going. Cause think about this: would you have done that if everything was going great, and then you would have got a second promotion or third promotion?
100%. And I
So
think,
you know what I'm saying?
right. And that goes back to what I was saying. I think if it wasn't for me being with my back against the wall, I don't know, like you said, I may have been complacent, but I was left with little to no choice. Either be on welfare forever, because that system is made to keep you in it. Either do that or, try to build something. And being a good mom has always been at the top of my priority list. So
No, we've been going back and forth all week, and she's like, "Don't worry, we're gonna do it. Let me just finish with the kids. They're graduating." And I'm like, "No, go do your thing."
no, I appreciate it.
But she's part of my summer tour. A lot of you are probably thinking, "Why are you not in the studio?"
Right.
Because it's summertime. I want to get out on the road. Right now, we're in Jersey at a secret location. This is not my new studio. This is connections that she has.
Thank you.
And I said, "Hey, don't come to the Bronx. I'll come to you.
Yes, no, I appreciate
And
it.
I was like, do you have somewhere? She was like, I got plenty places. We just walked around this whole place. I'm like, I like this room right now. So thank you
I'm
for,
glad.
for
Of
the time.
course,
I
of
know you're
course.
busy. You're doing mom stuff.
No, for
you're doing work
sure.
stuff. So let's go back to the mom thing. What is the best part? Because I see they look like twins. They're not twins.
They're Irish twins.
They're Irish
So
twins.
they're a year
A
apart.
year apart.
Yeah, they're a year apart.
Super twins.
Yeah, super twins. The best part about being a mom, honestly, is seeing my kids grow up and evolve into being their own little people.
Yeah, right.
I know that sounds weird, but like you can raise kids the same exact way. Like you can have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many you want, and raise them all the same exact way. And they're all gonna have completely different personalities. And I feel like I've really gotten to enjoy, because kids are babies, they're cute. You're teaching them no, yes, that's right, that's wrong. But right now in that teenage phase, it's like, okay, you've already taught them all of that. Now you're more in like the receiving end. You're seeing who they are, who they're becoming, and I love it because they're super duper dope, and it's mind boggling. It is mind boggling. Like I'm surprised every time something comes out of their mouth. I'm like,
No,
where did that come from?
my friend Max has twins,
Oh,
and they're different.
yeah.
And we talk about it all the time. I'm like, yo, bro, why? Like one is super fly, the other one doesn't give a shit what he wears.
Yo, complete.
And I'm
My
like,
kids
yo,
are like
and
that
I'm like,
polar
yo,
opposite.
I'm like, yo, Max, what the hell? He's like, bro, I don't know. They do their own thing. But
Yeah.
we're gonna ask a question because some women are probably upset. 2 beautiful children,
Yeah.
and still fire.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
What is that? Genetic? Is that mom? Is that Jim? What I?
I'm gonna be honest
Because
with
I didn't ask.
you.
I did before I did the research.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw all your pool pictures. I
Yeah.
saw all your. Oh, we got to talk about your traveling.
Yes.
She be out by herself.
Yes.
So obviously you're beautiful. Obviously the body is petite and you can 2-piece and you jump pools and you jump beaches and you whatever. God bless you.
Thank you.
With 2 kids.
Yes.
Motherfuckers is hating right now.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie to you because I don't talk about it enough. I don't talk about it at all, because I don't ever want to take away or feel like I'm body shaming anybody. But it is not because I just wake up like this. I absolutely work out. I absolutely have a diet. I don't drink soda. And lime. This is crazy, but I've been dying to share this on a reel.
There you go.
But lime is a huge part of my diet.
But
and
lime?
Lime.
Oh, lime.
Green,
The green lime.
lime.
Okay. Not only with Patron.
No,
But real life.
no. And I drink a lot of water. I don't drink soda. I don't drink juice. I drink water. But lime is a huge part of my diet, and I did not know this. But lime, not only if you drink lime water in the morning, it helps you absorb vitamins better, and you also burn fat, and you can digest your food better. So, and I have it every single fucking day. Like,
So you put a squeeze of lime in water.
squeeze my lime in my water.
That's
I
a
have
good-
my dressing is made out of lime. Like lime is a huge part of my diet. Period. I know
There
that
you
sounds
go.
crazy.
That's the secret.
And I work out and I drink water and I've done it since my kids were born consistently.
There you go. So no body shaming, but
Get in the gym. Get in the gym. Get in the gym.
Get in the gym.
It does. It
I
feels
need to get in the
good.
gym.
It feels
I definitely
good.
need to get in the gym. But so there was something that sparked this interview, for me at least, because after you said that, we were already doing the Frank thing, but you made a post or a clip about women in business, and these savages.
Oh my God.
They fake try to do business, but they want some ass.
Yes, it happens too often. Too often with some of your favorite icons. I mean, we've already seen it. I mean, with the whole Diddy trial, it's a dead subject, but it happens so often. And I'm glad that I was able to speak on it because even off of that same post, I had so many women in nightlife hit me up and like, we stand with you. Thank you so much for sharing this because they've experienced it too. So it's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard because when I first started, I noticed it. So I tried to change who I was. Like I would show up in like sweats and a hoodie. I thought that that would change something. It doesn't change anything. Men are always gonna be men. So and I kind of evolved into back into who I am because it shouldn't matter how. I mean, it does matter how I present myself, but it to a certain extent it shouldn't. You know, obviously I'm not gonna show up in una tanguita and a freaking mini dress to a business meeting. But if I want to wear a nice suit and a tank top, or if I want to wear this, I should be able to and not have to be worried about a man keeping it in his pants. And that it's happened so often, and I stand on my 10 toes that I've remained very, very true to myself in this industry, and I've made it a habit that I've even lost opportunities because I've decided not to do something with somebody. And I'm talking about reputable people, but I'm not going to drop any names.
No names.
But
you know who you are, you savage.
yes, but you got to get through it. And if I could tell the girlies anything, still be you. Still stand on business. Still show up in these rooms, and don't let these boys scare you off, because they do try to.
Okay, what I can say is, and obviously I've never been a CEO of anything, but I'm gonna assume, and you can help me out with this. That gives you some type of feeling of this is my shit. My there's a running joke for the last 50 years. The boss sleeps with the secretary. It's like that's a thing.
Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Oh my god, especially with Frank. And Frank and I have gotten to the point where we're both like, conchale, because it's such a horrible stigma where we live in a society where you can't see two people of the opposite sex doing business. And I want to be a part of that change because I have done business with a lot of men who are not slime bags, who are actually honest men. And we've done good business repeatedly. And shout out to those men because there are a lot of them. But yeah, no.
It's my thing is that once, and I gotta speak for myself, right? Even with this meeting here, you know, from the beginning, and it's not only because I have a girl, because men that are married are still fucking douchebags, and they still try to cut corners, and they still try to fake do business just to get ass or whatever. But in my case, I care more about. Obviously, I care about my relationship, but I care more about my business and me calling the next girl.
You should.
And you being like, nah, he's good, yo. That
Right.
nigga's respectful. At no point did he try to nothing. Because
100%. And, you know, part of why I'm working on, and I'm sure we're going to get to that, on the project that I'm currently working on is because that type of behavior leaves so much opportunity and so much money on the table. Reputation on the table, and possibly some of the best collaborations you could possibly have in your career. It's really sad. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of talent, and it's a waste of resources, if you ask me. Because if let's just say hypothetically speaking, you are able to work and partner with as many individuals as you want and not have to worry about that. Whereas to now, I would say it's more of like a 30-70 ratio where 30% of the time it's like bullshit business. Like, let's make it all good business. You know, you never know where it's going to take you. And I feel that that's something that I definitely want to bring back, especially with the projects that I'm working on. It's not going to leave any room for any type of prejudice or gatekeeping things. That's outdated. It's old school and it can't keep working. And I feel like it goes both ways. And not to knock my girls out, but we gotta stop giving them their way. And that goes for anybody, male or female. Like if someone's asking for favors in exchange for a seat at the table, build your own fucking table. I promise you it'll be so much better. You don't have to sell your soul. And I will continue to tell that to myself. Like if I can't be in a room because somebody wants me to do something, it almost builds a fire inside of me. Like, oh yeah, watch me get in that room without having to fold. It gives you more power. Trust me.
How long? Like, let's use me as an example. The radar, right? So once I hit you up and I tagged you, I said, yo, me and Frank showed you love, right? So now your radar is on already? Let's see if he's a douchebag? Or you don't think about it until it happens?
I don't think about it. I don't prejudge anybody.
Okay.
I don't. I feel like that's for the bitter. I'm not going to do that.
But when it happens,
But when
like,
it happens,
fuck.
I'm like, why'd you have to go there? Why'd you have to
You shut
go
it down
there?
right away?
Immediately. I don't play with it. I never used it to my advantage. And you know what's funny? A lot of my other business partners have seen it and witnessed it, and they'll give me more jobs because they want to support me because they know the dignity that I have behind this entire thing. So it works in your favor. It really does in the end. But yeah, and to my girls again, you don't gotta fuck nobody for what you want. Like you can do it. Like you can absolutely do it yourself. And it's better that way because that sense of gratification, like, yeah, I did this shit myself. There's nothing like it.
And I'm pretty sure, because there's already we already walk a shame. You know, guys leave the girl's house and we like, damn, man, I didn't get no breakfast. And girls leave and he put me in an Uber.
Damn,
And
right?
that's just regular dating.
Right.
You have to sleep with that and look in the mirror to that shit.
You do. And I'm not gonna lie, it might take you a little longer. It's gonna take you a little, because it took me a little longer. But
It's a longer road.
it is a longer
But you
road.
have your fucking dignity.
And you do, and people start to see that, because that's what happened with me. Like I kind of was like, you know what? Fine, if I can't get through you, I'm gonna go around you. And it took me a little bit longer, but I still got in the rooms I wanted to get into. And then certain people, you know, that mattered would see that. They'd be like, wait, how the fuck did you get in here? Mm-hmm. Because rumors spread. And that's the thing.
Guys.
More than one person might know.
Girls. I'm going to tell you, we talk.
Yeah.
Because not now. Now this is the best version of Abby that I've been on in my life. Like this creation started, I would say 5 years ago, when me and my second baby moms got divorced, and I fucked that shit up so bad, and I was in DMs, and I was trying to cheat. Forget about opportunities coming to me for me to cheat. No. I'm Joto Bucano.
Damn.
And the girls are in the DM like, bro, you married, chill,
Relax.
and I would relax, and I'm writing back, and I'm writing shit back like, don't worry about it. She ain't gonna find out.
Right.
So I got my PhD in dirtbagness. Mm-hmm. Like I know that I'm super retired.
Right.
So now, thank you. So I used to be these fucking assholes in DMs and getting manicures and pedicures from the hot girl just to see if I could fuck her.
Right.
Stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Business as well. You know, maybe I ruined some things, but where I'm at now, I'm mature enough to say that, yes, that shit is corny, number one. We're going to talk because we got that ego. Oh, I smashed
Girls
that.
talk.
Girls talk.
The same way we talk, they talk.
Yeah.
And we can't even knock it. Like, I don't knock it.
But I'm glad that, you are super, the dignity is everything.
Thank you.
And we don't want to get back to your kids either.
No, for sure.
And the business world.
Right. And people, and honestly, like, people end up respecting that. Like, I've been outside. You guys know, if you're watching this and you know me, you know I've been outside for years, and I started in the clubs, and I was able to work myself into Hot 97, into so many different freaking rooms. And there's people that have seen me doing this for years and now respect me. These are people that I looked up to, and I just say that not to toot my own horn. I just say that if I can motivate anyone, any girl, any guy to do the same with dignity, do it. Just, you're going to work harder, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's no shame in it. Just be ready to put in the work.
Be ready to put in the work. Let's talk about your, so we're going to leave that there. We gave enough. Don't be a douchebag, men. And women, dignity. There you go. We have to talk about your traveling, because you be out.
Yes.
Is it always with your kids, or sometimes you?
Yeah, I take 2 vacations a year. I like at least. I take one with my kids first, always, because family first, and then I take like a girls trip or a solo trip.
The solo trips is crazy.
The solo trips are amazing. I love the solo trips. The solo trips are a must.
Well, I went down your rabbit hole, and you were in fucking Idaho or Arizona or some shit.
I was in Yosemite.
Yeah, that shit. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that's at.
That's in California.
There you go.
Yeah. I think, that was my first big solo trip. It was right after my grandmother passed. May she rest in peace. I was very dependent on my grandma. Like, she was my support system, and we lost her to COVID. So it was very abrupt. And I had to learn how to be like, okay, all right, a solo team for a while. And I was like, yo, I just want to go to the mountains and like find God or something.
No, 100%.
Because it was grief. It was grief. I never in my life had lost someone so close to me. And I know I needed to be okay for my kids. And in order for me to do that, I felt like I needed to breathe for a second, which to my mommies out there, I will take a moment if I may. I will say this, it's okay to need to be alone and to breathe. It's okay. Doesn't make you a bad mom, doesn't make you a bad person. It is necessary. Because if you're not okay here, you're not okay around you. And in order to be okay here and with your kids, you need to be okay here. You need to be okay in your mind in order to be a good parent.
And that's why I call my daughter, or she calls me, Dad, what you doing?
Yeah.
You want the baby? And I'm like, what am I saying? No.
Right.
I'm like, bring her,
Bring
because
her.
she even if it's 1 day, from 2 days, whatever. It's a village. You know what I'm saying?
It's a village. It's a village. So I took that trip, and it was like, it was liberating.
Let's talk
it was beautiful.
about, because I'm pretty sure men and women are scared of the solo. You did it in the U.S. My mom went to fucking Egypt by herself. She went to,
Wow.
like, she's wild out.
I love that for her.
Yeah,
I love that.
She retired.
Shout out to
She
Mom.
retired. She's doing her thing. So the anxiety part of doing it by yourself, without the girls, without the kids, what is that like?
It was, honestly, it was so empowering. It was like almost liberating in a way, because I had no one, like no one to entertain, no one to like look after. It was just me.
We're
So
used to bugging out with people.
Yeah,
We're used to
yeah.
the circles.
right, like if I'm not tending to my kids and I'm with the girls, I mean, I have a great, shout out to my girls. I have a great group of
Y'all
girlfriends.
fucked up, by the way. Yep. Y'all fucked up, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
The
She'll
way
tell you
we
what I'm
are-
talking about.
Yeah, no, I will. The way that we like, we're extra. We're always doing like reels. We're doing
Super extra.
content. Yeah, we have a good time. So having like that solo time, it's like there's no distractions. Like
Because
whatever.
you're in the room alone.
You
You have to eat alone.
Yeah.
You have to swim alone.
Yeah.
You have to hike alone.
have to hike alone.
Unless
so
there's some type of tourism
You
thing.
almost like no, and you almost like. You think about everything. You can't hide from the doubts. You can't hide from the fears. You face it all, really. And then you also have like a nice view while you're doing it. So
that's dope.
it's an exhilarating experience. I recommend it to everybody. It was a little scary, but I had a little pepper spray. Definitely if you're going hiking.
spray.
Yeah, no, it's an actual thing. You have to be prepared because there are a lot of crazy people out there. So if you're hiking, do it, but do it responsibly and be careful. But yeah, no, it was exhilarating. It's beautiful. And it also reminds you that the world is so much bigger than the city. It's so easy to get caught up in our life out here
100%.
and thinking that this is everything when there's a whole world to see. But yeah, I went on that solo trip. Then I went to Hawaii by myself too. That was
damn.
nice.
Mom went to Hawaii.
Yeah, awesome. Yo, shout out to mommy. What's her sign?
I should know this.
You should. Why are girls like this? We love signs.
July.
Cancer.
Cancer.
Yes,
Yep.
July's Cancer.
July 20.
Love it, like a true adventure.
July 20th, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
1920.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's scary, but it's liberating. It's exhilarating. I highly recommend.
I've never.
You should try it. I get told I'm crazy a lot for
Well,
it.
I've been to Puerto Rico by myself, but then I meet the family, so that's not the same.
No.
You're talking about going somewhere where you have no one.
No.
Like, there's no one to talk to.
No. Yeah, it was amazing. I had no reception. I had a map, literally like a little paper map I had to follow. But again, it brings you back. It grounds you. And once I did that, I became addicted to it. So I try to take a solo trip once a year, whenever I can. Because it is nice to just kind of like, woosah, you know. It's so easy to get caught up in life when you have so many people talking at you and in your ear
Yeah, it's like
constantly.
it's like traffic.
Yeah.
Our everyday is traffic, and I don't mean cars. I'm talking about we are programmed that way from birth. You know, watching our parents struggle in the city. I'm talking about city right now. Like you said, I go to visit some of my cousins in Monroe, New York. That's not even. We're talking about an hour and a half, 2 hours, like Bear Mountain type area.
Nice.
And like you said, that 2 hours away from the city is a whole different world.
It's a whole
Imagine
different
the
world.
other side.
Yeah.
Imagine the farms. Imagine the campos. Like the city is not everything.
Yeah, no, it's not. And let me tell you, and I spent little to no money on that adventure in Yosemite. And if you saw my content from that trip, it was magnificent. It was $1 million view. And I paid for the water I was drinking and the freaking sandwiches in my backpack, which was less than I've ever spent in any club in New York City.
Leave the city, people, even if it's for a weekend.
No, for sure.
Speaking of content, how the F, and I want to be proper, how the F do you get 20 million views on a clip just by telling girls, watch out for the damn stalkers? That was free. Like, please explain that to me. 'Cause
I'm
that
a
is
girl's
amazing.
girl.
That
No,
is
thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
20
thank you.
million over here.
Yeah. No, so
That was hilarious.
it was hilarious. I found this new update that Instagram did. And basically, you can go into your settings, and if you go to your blocked contacts, if you scroll all the way to the bottom,
Yep.
it'll show you a suggestion for people who you should block. And it can be anybody that's lurking, anybody that's stalking you.
I did it, so I know.
You know,
Like,
I'm
let's see
glad.
if she's real.
Yeah,
shit is
no,
real.
it is. And you can see basic, or if you've blocked somebody too, it'll show you to their other fake accounts. So no, that definitely went viral. It was crazy. I didn't even think it was gonna go
It's
that
probably still hitting to
viral.
this day.
Yeah.
You probably still get notifications.
Oh, for sure. I always get a comment, something out of pocket. It makes me laugh. I'm actually working on some feedback from that viral reel because it's still
That
going.
shit is
It's still
20
counting.
milli. And you got a couple of other millis.
Yes.
But no, the content is amazing.
Thank you.
What does the content? Do you use that for your business? Is
So
it a big part of it, or is part of it?
it's a part of it. It's becoming a much bigger part of it now since I've put my own personal brand on the front burner recently. But I did that because I was working with clients, right? A lot of my business is word to mouth. You know, people see the work that I've done with Frank. They've seen what I've done throughout the years. And a lot of times people will come and they want to work, but you have to trust the process. And a lot of times it's hard as a talent manager. A lot of times I'm asking you to have faith in me, give me creative control, and I'm asking you to trust me with a lot because I'm working with artists, I'm working with dreamers is what I call them.
Yep.
I'm working with dreamers. So there's a lot at stake, and a lot of times it's hard to convince them that your system works. So every once in a while I got to get on Instagram and throw a video or two out to show them that I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Even with me, like
Yeah.
I've been doing it by myself for 3 years, right? So let's say I'm like, yo, Abby, I need help, you know, and you'd be like, no problem. You need a consultant or you want to hire me? Now I'm like, nah, let's just hire. Now I have to be like, yo, I got you 3 interviews. And I'm gonna be like, who the fuck are these people?
Right.
But I have to trust you.
Yeah.
Now I have to be like, no, they're interesting. No,
Right.
I got the questions lined up for you.
Right.
So my problem with this is that, and I've had conversations with people with restaurants, with hotels, trying to get sponsorship and branding and this and that. There's no money, like DJs, right? They get paid every week. If you got the biggest DJ in Jersey or the biggest DJ in New York, maybe he makes 10 grand a week. You help them, however that deal works, you get percentage. I can't do that because I'm not generating any money. Views, that's not money. Content is not money.
Right.
So when I had conversations with a restaurant, for example, and I'm like, yo, let's do this, and he was like, they're not gonna give you money if they don't see what they're getting back. So please explain that. What the fuck? I understand, but I got this content. I got 1 million views here. I got that. That's not money to them.
So what happens is you need to be able to show consistency, right? With your with your content. For example, when you're putting out, you can do one video that's 1 million views and another. It's a whole system that you have to have in place. Like, do you have a business email? Are you getting sponsorships? Like, where exactly are you trying to make money? Is it off the views? Is it off sponsorships? Now, with social media, there's different ways that you can make money. Some people get lucky and they get accepted to the bonus programs. So Instagram is very, and TikTok as well, is very known for choosing random people. And I myself, along with other clients, I've seen it go one way or the other many times. Whereas one client has the bonus reel opportunity where they get paid per view. It can be anywhere between 2 cents, to like $1 per view. Depends on how many followers you have, how much they're willing to pay, whether it's Instagram or whether it's TikTok. That's one way to get paid. You have gifts, you have subscribers. Most of the money that's going to come is not going to be directly from the platforms. It's going to be from deals from other people that are going to be reaching out to you, offering you money for advertising their product or their services. So that's where the real money comes. Like I just got an offer to do 2 reels for $2,000, for example. And that's more than what Instagram pays me per post. So most of it is going to come from other people offering you, their services or asking like, hey, how much do you post? So you want to work on your views, sure, but you want to work on your following, because that's the amount of viewers that these different sponsors are going to see. That's what they're looking for. It's big following. They're looking for people who have interaction. So literally just keep going. And those offers are all going to come in.
And thank God I don't care about the money, because I have, I got shout out to the party bus, by the way. Dionisi, me and my brother Elliot. Elliot owns a party bus.
Nice.
I'm his partner, and we drive. This is hot season right now. We got proms, we got graduations.
Fire.
So that's my little side hustle. I got I got my regular job. So I don't do this. And people always say, "Come on, you gotta do it for the money." And I've interviewed so many people from your world now, business. I just had like 3 interviews that now I'm focusing on people that know what they're talking about. People, entrepreneurs, people that own. Because in the beginning it was cool. I was interviewing my family, my friends, and little by little. Now I want to talk to people like you, people like Sean Martin, Big D. That has. These are all entrepreneurs that started from nothing. That took the chance that you took. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do this for that.
Awesome.
I don't do it for. I'm not. There's no check.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right
no
now.
check. Right now.
We're going to talk later.
Yeah. But if I connect with the Abbeys and the Sean Martins and they're gonna be like, yo, let's do this. Maybe this will work. Because I am. Even when you met me, you was like, oh, the famous Abbey. You know what I'm saying? Because you see me what I'm doing. So that has to happen first. People, you have to be working.
You have
ain't nobody coming to save you. You know what I'm saying? You got to take these trips.
That part. Ain't nobody coming to save you.
Because ain't nobody coming to save you.
That's true.
No one who's coming to save has 16.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So even with this, people are like, oh, why you left the studio? You know why? Because this was my idea, and I can't bring my producer with me. You know what I'm saying? He got his own thing going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I
There's
said, you know what?
There's a way.
Bro, we have technology. This is a phone and a fucking tripod with mics. Having a great conversation with an entrepreneur that made shit happen from nothing. So there's no excuses.
No.
You know, my producer's working. Bro, get a book bag and figure it out.
Figure it out.
Because content is content. You know what I'm saying? And
you're either the consumer or the producer. That's it when it comes to social media. Either you're going to be the person that's eating all the shit, or you're going to be the person that's putting it out.
Yeah, so
that's it.
It's either doing this or making them do that.
Or making them, right. So, no, kudos to you. Kudos to you, because it is something that is, I know it sounds crazy, but it is scary. Everybody is a little nervous to do it at first. Like,
to press record is nerve-wracking.
It is so nerve-wracking, especially when you're posting it and you're waiting, you're refreshing to see the comments and the likes and all of that shit.
Is anybody watching my shit?
Yeah, right. That's the hardest part.
Don't worry, just keep going.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah, because right, the last interview I posted on, it dropped on Thursday, and I'm already I got like 3 or 4 in the bag. You know, this one now. You know, today I got another one with another entrepreneur that has a home business. So I'm just giving people, and people love it. They're like, oh my God, you want to talk to me? I'm like, yeah, you got something going on. Like, I'm not talking Yo no estoy hablando mierda con la gente.
No.
What we doing?
You're having good conversations, and there's substance, and we were literally just talking about that.
Yeah.
And how there are a lot of podcasts out here that don't have the substance, and if you can educate people and share stories, you're only empowering others, and I feel like that's a powerful thing. Shout out to Chris Streets. He's one person. I was always very private, like you did your research and you saw I'm very much behind the scenes.
Yeah, 100%.
And over the past year, I've been a little more open. My good friend Chris Streets, he gave me really good advice one day, and he was like, Abby, like, you know, your story can only empower other women who've been in your situation. And that touched me differently because I'm not shit. Like, I don't think I'm better than anybody. Like, I've eaten shit. Respectfully. But like, if I can work my ass off and do what I love, anybody can do it. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be. You know, we're barely scratching the surface right now. So
no, the fact that, you know, and props to you.
Thank you.
Because I watching you. This is another thing. But if I'm going to interview you, I'm on you for like 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Don't take it personal, but I'm on you. I'm watching what you're doing. I'm looking. Obviously, you know, we can have conversations as well.
Investigative journalism at its finest.
You got to do it, but in a good way.
Right.
But no, shout outs to you.
Thank you.
A single moms need all the props they can get. You know, not for you know, not for mercy or nothing. Just like good job.
Thank you.
You know, it's just amazing.
Thank you so much.
What you guys go through. You know, and it's fucking amazing. So what is the new thing? We can't give too much about it, but the new project that's coming, that you are.
So
it's gonna be your new baby.
Thank you. Yes, this is my new baby. It's called Beat Bridge, and Beat Bridge is basically, we're in stealth mode right now. It's my startup company. We're creating a space where artists, DJs, creatives, and influencers are going to be able to collaborate, monetize, and change the way that they work together. So I'm taking all of my experience from the past couple of years that I've been working with DJs and artists and really just creating an umbrella for everybody to work together, because not everybody can afford a manager. Not everybody can, you know, because we're living in a very hard time right now. And I feel with technology, we're in a very, very peculiar space to make a lot of things happen, especially in entertainment. We have so many tools. Like when it comes to AI and all of these different tools that we have now that we've never had before, I feel like it's positioning entertainment, women in business, music, creatives, entrepreneurs. It's positioning us in a very, very positive place, you know, where before we had to take school courses for 4 or 5 years. Now you can freaking type in the proper prompt and get the information that you need.
100%.
And I'm planning on using that to my fullest advantage and create a space where I can help people all around the world. That's how big we're thinking right now.
And technology is how I got my CDL license.
Nice.
Because I hate books.
Yeah.
There was no way that I was going to read a book and use a highlighter and circle, and that's not how you really study from our days.
Yeah.
So the what you're using, is, like you said, the technology we have. So, well, we can talk about it further
For sure.
if we can. How's that going to begin?
So it's going to start off as an app. We're basically going to be creating an app, kind of like a social app where everybody can interact. Shout out to MRG. That's one of my latest clients that I've worked with. He's an artist. He just released his album. Check it out for sure. Nice. But working with him and his team really was a very eye-opening experience, because I got to learn a lot of the challenges that artists face on a day-to-day basis, and it kind of like fueled what I was already working on. But we're working right now, and we're really going to change the way that people collaborate and get into rooms, because the gatekeeping is old school, and it's leaving too much money and opportunity on the table. And I feel like with independent artists now, you guys are really empowering yourselves. I feel like people are really realizing, kind of like what we were talking about, like you don't have to continue doing favors or like going here and going there. You just got to position yourself in the right direction, in the right room. Do your research. Who do you need to talk to? Who do you need to be in a room with? What room do you need to be in? I feel like artists, independent creators, we're really starting to realize that, to changing the way things have been done for the past few decades.
Everything has always been, how do I get in? They probably interviewed 100 people, and they separated me because they know me.
Because you knew somebody. They
No,
probably had,
that's so
no
fucked
offense,
up.
they probably had better candidates.
They probably had better candidates, but you know what?
But you knew somebody.
But I'm and not only that, but I'm proven.
Yeah, that's good.
I was with them 2.5 years. They know me, no complaints, so they'll take that chance. And maybe you'll get a contract. Back to the favor bullshit.
Yeah.
You get a job opportunity because you worked with someone 5 years ago. Go to work hard, work with dignity. Don't cut no corners.
No.
And the universe, like people that don't believe in that, karma, the universe, blessings, all that shit is real.
It is. You know what? And that reminds me of something funny. So before Frank got into the heavy hitters, right? I was doing like the bootstrapping I was telling you about, going to networking events, going into rooms just to like put my clients out there. I take my job very, very seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I remember I was at a Hot 97 mixer, and I remember seeing DJ Enough. Shout out to DJ Enough. And I remember coming up to him, and this was like maybe 2 years ago, and just mentioning like, hey, DJ Enough, what's good with Frank Roth and the heavy hitters? Like, just planting little seeds. Just little things like that.
Throw it in there.
Right, just throw it in there. Mind you, Enough was like, looked at me crazy, respectfully, because now we're cool. But it was funny because he's like, yeah, don't worry, Frank's going to get the call when he gets the call. And I was just like, well, alrighty, served. Kept moving around the room, kept networking, saw Enough in multiple rooms. And then when Frank got inaugurated, which obviously that was all him, not taking credit for it. But when he did get inaugurated, I remember seeing DJ Enough again. And he remembered me. He's like, wait a minute, you're that girl. Wait a minute, this is a full circle moment. He's a heavy hitter now. Yep. So absolutely work your ass off, because people will notice. Even the people that you don't think are noticing, they're going to notice. And it does go a long way. You know, that perseverance that I've had, and I still have, because y'all know me. It's taken me, it's opened doors for me, thank God. And if I could advise anybody, is to have that perseverance, keep knocking those doors, because just like you said, you know, the right people will notice. Do it with dignity.
No, I'm doing this shit by myself, and I'm doing it by myself for a reason, because number one, I can't afford to pay nobody yet. So, but I need to start putting things in position, LLCs. Branding, as far as, you know, copyrights and all that shit, because that matters. No one's gonna cut you a check in your name.
No.
I'm gonna say that again. No one's gonna give you a check if they're helping your business. They're gonna give it to the LLC. So make it happen. I'm in the process of doing that.
Do that. Kudos.
But no one's gonna give you a check with your name on it.
No, not in this business. Not unless you do corporate America.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, who the fuck is Abby? No, nigga.
Right.
They ain't giving no fucking Abby. We ain't giving Abby no money.
Seriously.
What's the name of your business, sir? Oh, I'm not ready. Okay, so come back when you're ready.
Right, back of the line.
Because all that matters.
It does.
But so what else you got going on? What other surprises can we expect?
I mean, honestly, aside from that big project, we have.
That's the baby.
That's the baby. That's what I'm literally. I'm taking a step back. Right now I'm doing one-off projects. Shout out to all of my one-off contracts, by the way.
By the way, explain what that is to the people.
So my one-offs is where they're not we're not on a contract for like 4 years, but I'll hire you for a club. I'll get you in somewhere. We do a singular project together. Those are my one-offs. Shout out DJ Blendz. Shout out Handsome Shooter, Sir King, MRG. There's a few of those. So.
One-offs. And podcasters, pay attention to your past guests. Pay attention to who's out there working, because I found her from looking at someone else. I swear to God. And I said this in the beginning. So trying to get Frank, I kept running into you as far as the the internet is concerned. And then once I got Frank, and now I'm researching you, and I'm like, yo, I need to have her on my show.
Thank you.
Because you're not a money, well, you are a money maker, but you make shit happen. You're moving things around. And I even asked you when we was on the phone, I'm like, oh, let's do it this day. Oh, by the way, do you work? So, because I have a regular job. And she was like, no, I'm self-employed. And I'm like, if that's not the most boss fucking talk I ever heard of, that's some shit right there. No, I'm self-employed. Like, what? Yo, I'm dying to say that shit one day because I can do this shit every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I need to put myself in a position to do this shit every day.
I feel like if you could dedicate yourself wholeheartedly to anything 10 years, and I'm almost on my 10 year now. I look younger than I am. But you're going to see the fruits of your labor. There's no way mathematically, like literally mathematically, there's no way for you to not succeed.
The universe will not do that to you.
It's not. No, and mathematically you can't. Like even if you look at probability, you just keep going, you keep trying something until it works.
Shout out to my guy Mike Success, right?
Nice.
So I had him on the show. It was like episode 25, and I always mention this because it's funny, because I really thought he was trying to play me, but he wasn't. So I'm like, and he's a manager. He manages Ken Stars and and Chicken Millennium.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's.
Oh wait, okay, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I've seen him on his socials. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was on my show, and I'm gonna ask you the same thing. So I was like, yo, Mike, I would be a fool not to ask a person like you for advice on my show or whatever. He was like, what episode is this? I'm like, this is probably gonna be 26. He was like, keep working.
That's it. That's it.
I'm like, the fuck? I thought I was killing shit. Like, nigga, you're on episode 25?
Yeah.
No, that's not good.
No, you're just starting.
You're just starting. So he said it takes a while. So now this is probably gonna be 62.
Nice.
So hello, you know what I mean? I'm
still here.
That was what month? I was gonna say that was November-ish, December.
Okay.
So
you've been at work.
No, I'm at shout out to Frank Jez. That's my brother. That's my producer. Like when you see me in the studio is when Frank went. That was Frank Jez, and that's the Yonkers studio. So that's home base. For the summer, like I said, I came up with this idea to it's like a travel thing. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to the people. Let them come to me. You know, but I got my nighttime set up in my driveway.
Nice.
That came out this Thursday, matter of fact, and it's dope because I got the lights. I got the Bruckner behind me, so you can see the cars passing. It's like real time.
I love it.
A fucking ambulance passed, and we was like, yeah. Like, I'm not gonna ignore the noise. It's fucking happening.
Right, embrace it.
Embrace that shit. And so I had on Ali the Greatest.
Okay.
We spoke about his religion, Muslim. So he's a producer as well. So I just want to talk to interesting people, you know, and entrepreneurs. No negativity. I don't care if you fucking killed 20 people and you came into jail. And I don't. I do have 3 or 4 interviews about incarceration.
Nice.
These are gentlemen that came home after 30 years, 20 years. You know, check my YouTube. You can see those episodes as well. But it's positive. You know, they're doing something good now.
Right.
So am I all over the place with my interviews? 1,000%. Because there's so. I don't want to stay stuck in one thing. You know, and God bless the ones that only do certain interviews, but I just want to be all over because there's so many good people out there like you, like Frank, like my other 50 whatever guests that I had, and we're all trying to make it happen in our own way.
Right.
So when people say, what is your podcast about? I just say everything. Everything. Embrace everything. I'm trying to get a heart surgeon.
I love that.
Because my mom used to work in cardiology, so I'm trying to get a doctor this motherfucker.
Different people from walks of life.
He said yes, so I just gotta stay on them.
Fuck yeah.
So I want to talk about it. What don't you want to know about a guy that came from Ireland or wherever, studied,
absolutely,
had to fight through probably some migrant or some immigration shit bullshit to get to the U.S.
Right.
And he's a fucking he's
Facts.
touching hearts.
Tell me how it felt the first time you put the scalpel in, bro.
I'm down with all content.
I
that's
love
positive.
it. Yes,
there's a lot
I'll tune in.
And there's a lot of negative. Me and you spoke about it. There's a lot of. I don't do negativity.
Yeah.
I don't do gossip.
No.
There's a lane for that. God bless them. Are they probably gonna, to me, they're gonna crash and burn eventually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Right.
as you can see, we're not gonna
Brain
mention that.
rot. That's what they call it now. Brain rot.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
what I do is positive, 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 and like you said, the universe is not gonna do that to me.
No. And it's all about consistency, really. Because
Oh, I'm dropping every week.
even with the gossiping, it's consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as long as you do something over and over, you're gonna become better at it. It'll be your expertise, and you're gonna see the fruits. Like there's no way. And I'm a firm believer in that.
No, but even now, when I hit people up, they're like excited to talk to me,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I was excited. I was like, fuck yeah. Let's share this story. Let's freaking talk. I want to talk to the mothers. I want to talk to entrepreneurs. I want to talk to everybody because there are a lot of people that have different stories. And like we said earlier, the different people that you're interviewing, their stories can only empower other people, like myself. Too.
that's what I want. So if you could be a 16-year-old right now, that's having a man, baby daddy, or the woman, and you have that does not mean your life is over.
No, it's not. It's not. No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That sparked you, like as you said in the beginning.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Don't give up.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, you already did it.
Give up? No.
No. Don't do it as far as pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
You already did that part.
That's
so
it.
It's already in there.
It's there.
Upon your beliefs, you can do what you want to do, but we don't promote that.
No, for sure.
But so I like to end the show with motivation. I ended the show with prayer. With Ali the Greatest.
I love that.
Yeah, that's that. Hey, he said let's do it, and he's Muslim, so I was like, I just felt his fucking energy.
That's amazing.
Like
Abby.
I'm telling you,
I love that.
I was sending it to you. He I like to give credit to my guests, and I'm like, they killed it, and they're like, no, bro, but you're the host, man. Fuck that.
No, you.
The guest is usually like what drives me. If it's boring, I start looking at okay, we're gonna end this. Oh, so I'm gonna go now. But no, he was a great. So it's the floor is yours. Motivate,
Thank you.
empower. Give these women and men a message.
Thank you. Honestly, just to kind of encapsulate everything we were talking about, if you are a woman, if you are a young man, if you have kids, if you're an entrepreneur, if you've ever doubted yourself, and if you've ever felt like you had no way out, just know that you do, and it's all within you. So just take care of you, focus on you, make sure you're okay here, and you'll be able to resolve everything else around you.
That is super important, and there's been a lot of messages like that going on lately.
Yeah.
That you must, even on the plane, they say put your mask on first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Them
Them two babies are not gonna be.
Yeah. If I'm not okay, how am I going to make sure they're okay? Yeah.
So that is a great message. Thank you. Did
you.
we leave anything out? I like to make sure that the guests got everything out.
I think that's perfect. I think that's great. No, thank you so much for having me.
I had to. I
appreciate you. And, to all my other underdogs out there, all the people working behind the scenes, pushing the superstars out there, keep fucking doing it.
Oh, yeah, they don't see you. They don't see you.
They don't see us, but the world spins because of us.
That's a fact.
And just, yeah, man, whatever you put your mind to, if there's anything keeping you up at night, listen to that voice. As long as it's positive, obviously.
100%.
And go for everything that you want, because everything and anything is possible as long as you put your heart and your mind to it. I truly believe that.
That's how we're going to wrap that up.
That's it.
Abby, thank you.
Thank you.
Abby and Abby.
Abby, the law firm.
But I spell mine different.
Oh, that's right.
I do Abbie because the Y is girly.
It is.
But my real name is Abigail. So let's get this.
Abigail.
Abigail.
Okay, mine's Abigail.
I got friends that joke about my name. Oh, Abigail. Fuck you. That's not my name.
No, but
thank you for this great space.
Thank you.
I don't know where we at. I'm just gonna hit GPS and go back to the Bronx. Thank you. Peace. Don't forget Frank's juice.
Right. Peace out. That was great.